Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with the morning debrief. It's currently Tuesday and it's June the 7th. The current time is 8 o'clock. Okay, quite an interesting night last night. Obviously concerns once again abound concerning European debt sovereignty, sovereign European debt. Also a little bit of concern obviously of a double dip in the US, and as a result of that those risk aversion trades were put on. Everything remains exceptionally volatile, there's no doubt about it. There was a lot of switching from euro dollars into gold. That saw euro gold up and also Swiss gold up quite dramatically too, getting close to those record highs. And that obviously against the US dollar saw the dollar gold close around that 1240 US dollars an ounce. So quite aggressive on that front. Let's have a look at just some of the numbers. And there we go. Let's get back there. Oops. Okay, as we can see there, the Dow down 115 points, 1.16%, 9,816. The S&P down 14 at 1,050, and the Nasdaq off 45 at 2,173. The big key area on the S&P is 1,040. A daily close below that, we'll see, I think, quite a few people starting to exit positions. I will show a chart of that in a minute, but if it does take through that area, then in my mind it is a little bit of a concern. And that basically puts to bed, I think, a lot of people's minds that there is a high probability that we will actually double dip. Anyway, let's have a look at the usual things we look at. Just moving across here. And there we go. Dollar index, 853. Let's just get this back. There we go. Dollar index just coming up here. You can see the move last night was pretty sideways, but still very constructive. And only able to break through that 88.20 where you conclude that the trend is over. But the trend in my mind appears to be for that dollar to continue to firm for the time being. And I think a lot of us that have positions are sort of just betting them down for a while because I don't know whether this can actually last, but let's see how that unfolds. As mentioned, there we have it there, dollar index. That's the hourly, and if we go back to the daily, you can see exactly what we've been talking about. We can see that pennant occurring, and I think it'll be really, really interesting to see whether it holds here for the time being. But that's been a great chart to follow. So that's the euro. Have a look at the Aussie battler. Aussie battler's on major low, bumming around here. Let's see whether or not it holds or trades back to the top side. Was very close to it the other day, and it's amazing what 2 days make. Euro, once again, sort of just jumping around here on the low. There's the daily chart there. Have a look at the hourly. You might get a little bit of an idea of the little bit of a bounce there. Let's see what happens. We've got to be a little bit more confident, I guess, that we haven't gone to new lows, but it just seems to be holding up. Having a look at some of the commodities now. Gold, as we mentioned, had that strong move there. There it is there from 12.15, all in space of 1 to 2 hours, and she's resting there at 12.40. One of the keys here is whether or not it can continue. Now that is obviously pure risk aversion style of trading, and there it is at the moment there, and they're the high. Now the high we've had 12.49, and that's going to be the key areas if it breaks through that 12.50 level to see. But that's quite an aggressive move to the top side on that. Having a look at some of the others, quick look at silver. You can see silver bounced off. Still haven't reached that high before, but still quite aggressive in that movement. Having a look at crude. Crude just bumming around here, very aggressive on either side. Did get a major test to the downside, but seems to have held. And if we believe in any form of recovery, then obviously that 70 needs to hold, and it seems to be holding there at the moment. Copper came under pressure as we have concerned China, and seems to have found an intermediate low there. Let's see what happens. We've got IP in China towards the end of the week. That's meant to be relatively okay, so quite important as to what happens there. On the local market, 4,300 expected to open down just under 1%. We did get, there it is there, 4,300 is probably where it needs to be updated. There we are, that's better. Now whether or not we get a continued sell-off is another thing. Expectations are, just remember, the 4,200s are the key, and probably expect something like that to come close to testing it again. See whether or not that actually holds up okay. So that's really about it in terms of that. Everything else seems to be not that positive. but obviously people concerned with risk and risk aversion trades being put on. What do we have in terms of numbers? Bankruptcies leading index today in Japan. We've got DOE short-term and API data. That's probably about the major one. It will be interesting to see what this what the Fed, Evans and Duke have to say, and also let's see what that ABC consumer confidence. But at the moment we're seeing a little bit of confidence being hit, just particularly what's happening in the Eurozone, and that could actually draw on resources. One thing I didn't mention, but I want you to have a look at, is obviously what's happening with the Dow and the S&P through those important areas. And there you can see there the Dow did bounce off it, but if in fact these areas go, then you can see that we are in for much deeper correction. So anyway, that's about it from me. It's got an interesting couple of sessions. Obviously, sessions where we are not used to in terms of our trading. The positions we've got relatively mixed, but our positions are very, very small. So I'm sort of taking the view that I might continue to wind back positions to actually very, very small positions because I'm unsure. That's all part of trading. That's what we have to do. But that's about it. So I hope you have a great day. There is a lot of opportunity out there. It's just trying to find it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.